Hello, this is Chef Robert Sevely with Flavor of Riverside. I have a very special guest today. This is Julie Michaels. She's the executive director of Altavita Village, which is a retirement over 55 community. I like to call it a retirement resort. I'm the executive chef, and this is Flavor of Riverside. This is what we're going to be cooking for you all today. So we're going to do a bacon wrap date with blue cheese and a blue cheese fondue. We're going to do short ribs that's over a mushroom risotto, and it has Romanesco, which is a new vegetable I'm going to be showing you.
Love it.
And then lastly, we're going to do Bananas Foster's over vanilla ice cream.
Wonderful.
It's going to be delicious. And so I'm going to teach Julie how to make these items, and we'll be right back and get started.
You might have noticed new traffic lights popping up around Riverside, and the Public Works Department wants you to see how they work. First of all, you'll notice the new left turn signals consist of 4 lights: a red arrow, a solid yellow arrow, a flashing yellow arrow, and a green arrow. So how does traffic flow work with these new signals? First, we have the left green arrow, which indicates you have permission to turn left, but oncoming traffic must stop. When the signal changes to a flashing yellow arrow, turns are still permitted, however you must yield to oncoming traffic and pedestrians before proceeding with your turn. A solid yellow arrow indicates that the light is about to turn red, and you must be prepared to stop, or if you're already in the intersection, complete your turn when safe. A solid red arrow means you must stop. No left-hand turns are allowed. These new signals are being introduced nationwide and represent a safer and more efficient way to handle left-turn traffic at busy intersections. The City of Riverside encourages you to learn more about these new traffic signals, and if you have questions, call 311, Riverside's one-stop shop for answers.
So what these are is these are medjool dates.
Okay.
When I pick dates, I want them to be like really kind of almost juicy, almost wet looking, because if they're dry, they're going to be dry and they're going to be more brittle.
Right.
And so the juicier ones tend to be more tender, more flavorful. So the first thing that we're going to do is pull the pit out. And I'm just using a knife. You can use a paring knife, but you can see just how candied they are. These are actually a local date. Done from Coachella Valley. So,
nice.
I mean, within, 50, 100 miles of us, definitely considered local. We have a really nice Danish blue cheese here.
Oh, nice.
But you can use Gorgonzola, you can use Roquefort, you can use whatever you want. And I'm just going to get some into the cavity, and then I'm going to close it up as tightly as I can. So it's all encompassed. And I probably don't need quite as much cheese as I set out for myself, but we're just going to get those all done like so. Now, what we use, and this is the same type of bacon that we have at Altavita Village, is it's a applewood smoked bacon. And so it's on the thick side as well. So we're just going to take 2 pieces of bacon, or 1 piece of bacon cut in half, and then dates on top.
Okay.
You want to go ahead and roll those up?
I'm excited. Okay. Oh, fun. I think I could. I think I could actually do this.
You could do this. You could do this.
Okay. And then these.
Yep. And then put the skewer in.
Okay.
And that's going to help hold the date together as well as hold the bacon on.
Love it.
So I have all of these back here.
See.
These have all been in the freezer.
Okay.
And so I can make these a day ahead of time.
Love it.
And I can put them into the freezer. And what that's going to do is it freezes the cheese primarily. And so it's going to allow everything to cook, the bacon to cook and everything in the oven. I'm going to go into like a 400-degree oven. It's going to take between like 10 and 15 minutes before the bacon's fully cooked. And hopefully the cheese just doesn't come running out everywhere because it's frozen.
Right.
So these have been only sitting out like maybe 5 minutes. So we're going to get these in the oven.
Okay.
So now we're going to get started on short rib.
Okay.
You can see that I've already browned these a little bit because it takes a while, but we're going to get them into the pot and keep browning. So while we're doing this, why don't you let me know what is the typical like resident at the Altavita
At
Village
Altavita
Lake.
Village?
Yeah.
You know, that's a hard question because there isn't a typical resident. You know, in our independent living, we have residents who are there who are 58 years old, all the way to 104.
Wow.
I know. So for me, when I see you
Yeah.
in that back kitchen area doing what you do,
Yeah.
you're like that personal chef to every single resident. I mean, there's residents who love this dish, and then there's residents who like something else. And
Yeah.
so you're constantly creating these amazing experiences for those residents.
Right.
And there's not a typical resident.
So
Okay.
this is called a mirepoix. Mirepoix is French for carrot, celery, and onion.
Okay.
Okay?
I had
So-
no idea what you were asking me to bring over, so I just grabbed the dip.
Right. Just a flavoring ingredient.
Okay, that makes
Then
sense.
we're gonna go in with thyme.
Okay.
So fresh thyme. You could use dried at this point because it's all gonna get strained. But always remember, so if a recipe's calling for fresh thyme and you're gonna use dried, you wanna use half as much.
Oh, okay.
And vice versa. So if something's calling for dried thyme and you're using fresh, double it.
Got it.
Okay? All right, so then we're just gonna keep getting this kind of stirred, and this would brown up, right?
Okay.
And then we're gonna add some Cabernet Sauvignon. Since you're not a big cooker,
Yes.
if I'm gonna use red wine in a meat dish or something like that, I almost always use Cabernet Sauvignon because it's dry.
Okay.
If I was doing fish or chicken and I wanted to use a white wine, I'm going to use Sauvignon Blanc
Okay.
because it's dry. Typically, we want to use dried wines to cook with.
Okay.
Okay? Dry wines tend to give a cleaner, crisper flavor.
Okay.
But, you know, in cooking, every rule is made to be broken. Okay? That's very important to note. For depth of flavor, we're gonna add a little bit of tomato paste.
Okay.
So to something like this, I'm adding like maybe a little more than a tablespoon, and that's gonna go in. Then from there, we're gonna go in with stock. And we wanna fill up right about like halfway up the ribs or
Okay.
so. We don't necessarily wanna completely submerge them, but what this is called braising. It's a two-part cooking method. So we use dry heat cooking where we seared the meat and
Right.
we kind of sauteed the vegetables, and then we add a liquid, and then we cover it, and a lot of times it will go into the oven, and you cook that for hours. This will typically take about 3.5 hours. So I've obviously have made some and have those going.
Right.
And so those are fully cooked. These are falling apart meat. I almost have to be careful. I don't want them to fully fall apart on us. At this point, all we need to do is thicken the sauce, and then it's finished. So now let's make the fondue for the dates.
Okay.
You don't have to do fondue. You can kind of do whatever sauce you want.
Okay.
Plus, these can be served that's what's awesome about these dates is they can be served room temperature, just as long as the bacon's fully cooked. Remember, the cheese doesn't need to be cooked. The dates don't need to be cooked.
Right.
It's just the bacon. I'm gonna make a blue cheese fondue. We're gonna start off with a little bit of oil, like so. And we're gonna go in with shallots. Now,
Okay.
shallot, I'm gonna also add a little bit of garlic as well, okay? And then you can see this pan's really hot.
Right.
That's one of the reasons why I got it kind of removed from the fire. But it's all good. Even if it was cooler, it'd be fine. So now I'm gonna add some Sauvignon Blanc. Just enough to kind of moisten it up.
Nice.
And we're gonna let that reduce down. All right, you can go ahead and add the cream. All right, that looks good.
Love it.
I'll take that from
Okay.
you. All right, so now, why don't you go ahead and give it a whisk?
Okay.
Okay,
Let's get out of the pan.
there you go, that's all right. We're gonna season it.
Okay.
A little bit of salt, we're using kosher salt. A little bit of pepper. Okay. And then as it comes up, so we want it to thicken slightly.
Okay.
And you'll notice that it's getting thicker by the viscosity of the cream itself.
Oh, on the side.
Well, also look at the bubbles. The bigger the bubbles get, the
Right.
thicker the product is.
Nice.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right, so then we have the same blue cheese.
Oh, okay. That was in the dates?
That was inside the dates.
Okay.
And this is going to go into there as soon as, let's do it.
Okay.
All right, and you're going to stir this in.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, what other sauces have you made for the dates before? Because I know you've made those a lot.
Yeah,
They're
I've done like a saffron aioli for them, which is common. So aioli is kind of like a homemade mayonnaise.
Love it.
I've done balsamic vinegar reductions and stuff too. But dates are pretty sweet, and so that's why this lends itself. So you got the salty, the sweet, and now this kind of sharp cheesiness to the whole thing as well. And yeah, you just keep incorporating till it's all done. All right, so now we're gonna start on risotto.
Perfect.
And we're just pairing that with the short rib, okay?
Okay.
So we're gonna do a mushroom risotto.
Yeah.
The mushrooms that I'm using, I actually have them right up here. So you can use any mushrooms that you want, but we have a white button mushroom. We have a shiitake mushroom, which what's important to note about the shiitake is that we want to remove the stem.
Okay.
Stem tends to be woody.
Okay.
Okay. And then we have a cremini mushroom, which a lot of people don't know this. Little history about the cremini mushroom. Cremini mushrooms and portobello mushrooms are the same thing.
Oh, really?
So years ago, like during the 80s or early 80s, all these mushroom farmers had these overgrown cremini mushrooms. And they're like, we've just been throwing them away. What do we do with them? You know, because they didn't have this nice little button look to them. And somebody went, let's kind of put them out there and we'll use them as like a meat substitute and we'll sell them to the vegetarians because that's really coming on. And boom, now a portobello mushroom costs you,
Yeah.
$3, $4 in the grocery store. Then we have arborio rice, which arborio rice is a short grain Italian rice. That's what we use for risotto. A lot of people go, well, it's risotto rice. No, it's arborio rice.
Okay.
We have shallots, we have garlic, we have Parmesan cheese, we have white wine, and of course olive oil.
Okay.
Okay? And then of course chicken stock. We have chicken stock up there too. So I'm gonna start here with a little bit of olive oil.
Okay.
And notice I always start with shallots.
Right.
Right? And so we're gonna go in here. Then we're gonna go garlic. And we're just gonna give this a quick saute. And then we're gonna add the mushrooms. Now these mushrooms are gonna cook down and shrink, essentially. So we just keep these going. The other thing that I wanna do is I sort of season as we go.
Right.
The little bit of salt actually helps everything kind of cook down and it marries together a little bit better.
Okay.
And then pepper, I just love pepper. And I love my pepper mill too. That was a Christmas gift.
Love it.
So I always bring it on the show with me now. All right, so you see how much that went down.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Now I'm gonna add my rice. And I'm not gonna add all this. This is about 2 cups of rice. I'm gonna add about a cup. Now we're gonna go in with wine. And I'm gonna turn it up.
Okay.
But just enough wine to kind of moisten it,
Okay.
like so. And then that just starts cooking. This is Romanesco.
Okay.
And it's a type of cauliflower. It's an Italian cauliflower that looks very space age and is very, very much fun. It's also not expensive.
Okay.
And you can see it just breaks off just like cauliflower does. And you can have like kind of, there's a lot of hybrids to cauliflower too. I believe this is not a hybrid though. This has been around for a long time. Just Americans generally didn't like the way that it looked and so they wouldn't eat it.
So where would you find this?
Grocery store.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
But you can see here, there's even the yellow cauliflower that's up here, and they do a purple one now, and they're able to mix a lot of things with beets.
Oh, okay.
And that's where they're getting a lot of these colors. So this would be mixed with like a golden beet.
Right.
And the purple ones with the purple beet. Okay.
It brings a lot of color to the plate when you're.
It does.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's just our residents too, or anybody that you would cook for,
Right.
would be like, oh my gosh, what is that? We need to keep stirring this risotto.
Okay.
Okay?
So I think I can handle that.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
So yeah, so you can get in there and stir. Why don't you add a ladle of chicken stock as well?
Okay.
Because as you see it kind of drying up, and you're probably going to add like 2 or 3 of those.
Do you want another one?
Yep.
Okay. So here's a neat thing I think about our community.
Yes.
For me, if I were living there,
Yeah.
I would be coming to visit the dining room or the cafe or whatever for all the meals.
Yeah.
But the homes have their own kitchens.
They do.
So I've seen the residents take home your recipes,
Yeah.
and then they try them out at their homes and, have like little cocktail parties for
They-
their neighborhood, which kind of cracks me up. I love it.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we do cooking classes.
Yeah.
And we'll be cooking with chef, I'm the executive chef,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll also do baking with Beverly, which is my pastry chef. Beverly's my pastry chef.
She's amazing.
And so we'll do these fun, different things.
Yep.
And we hand out recipe packets, and they take them home,
They've
and
got
they
a
have
full
a good
kitchen
time.
ready to go.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
whole community is really looking forward to this show, and they want to see you on film, me on film, and it's going to be fun. So see how it's drying up?
Yeah.
Go ahead and add more stock.
Okay.
Like 2 more ladles again.
Okay.
And we're just going to sort of keep pushing through this. As far as stock goes, yes, you can make your own, and this goes for the short rib too, but the brands that I tend to prefer is I have Kitchen Basics, and I have Pacific. And so Pacific is the chicken stock.
Okay.
And Kitchen Basics was the beef stock. The reason why I don't use the Kitchen Basics chicken stock, even though it tastes really good, it's really dark.
Oh, okay.
So it would make our, nice mushroom risotto,
Right.
it'd make it look like I used beef stock with it.
Okay.
And so that's why we're doing
Got
this. So the other thing that I'm going to jump on the other side of you for
Okay.
is I'm just going to saute the Romanesco for a second.
Okay. You just tell me if I need more.
Yeah, no problem. You're
Okay.
doing just fine. I also want to thicken up our sauce for the short rib as well.
Okay.
And so what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to use cornstarch. So cornstarch, is exactly what it is. It's starch from corn. But instead of like making a roux, which that's flour and fat, we're going to do what's called a slurry.
Okay.
And slurry means it's the starch and it's water. And that's generally how you use cornstarch. So I'm going to hit this with a little bit of water.
Okay.
And I'm going to grab a spoon. And I'm just going to stir this together. Okay, till it dissolves. And this would be a little tougher. My grandmother used to do this with flour, but she'd put it in a mason jar and shake it.
Shake it.
And I typically, if I'm going to use flour, though, I create a roux.
Okay.
This also makes this dish gluten-free.
Oh, awesome.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
So the whole dish, including the rice, the whole thing's gluten-free. And we have a lot of gluten-free people that live with us.
Right.
And just in general, the world has a lot of gluten-free people nowadays.
Right.
And so this just helps that they're able to have this
Yeah.
fantastic meal too.
Love it.
So we're always being considerate with that. Go ahead and add some more chicken stock.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so to this here, it's boiling. I could remove the beef, but not really necessary. I'm just gonna swirl real tightly, and I'm gonna add the chicken stock as it's boiling.
Okay.
One thing about cooking is I can always add more. I can't take it out once I
Right.
add it. So I added a little bit of cornstarch. I'm gonna let it come back to a boil, see where it's at. Notice that it needs a little bit more.
Right.
So we're gonna go in with a little bit more. And there it goes. There it starts to thicken. I'm gonna add a couple more little things to it.
Okay.
I'm gonna add to this, because it's Riverside right?
It is, absolutely.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
orange.
add
Yeah.
a little bit of the orange zest that I
Yeah.
have here, and some rosemary
Love it.
as well. And then lastly, I don't mean to keep going around
No,
you.
it's okay.
You can go ahead and you can add more chicken stock to that.
Okay.
But I'm gonna take just an orange.
Oh, and the juice?
Yes.
Oh,
and I'm
wow.
gonna add some juice too. I add them in at the end. So like
Right.
fresh herbs,
Okay.
I add in at the end, and same with the zest. So I added that because I don't want it to overcook, as well as just the oils and stuff will blend into this right before we eat it, and it just tastes a lot better.
Right.
Now, if I was using dried herbs, I would have added them in the beginning of the cooking process, and that's just generally
Because they
how it
need
works.
to absorb the moisture. of the-
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
All right, so that's ready to go. We're just going to keep those hot,
Okay.
and I'm going to do the Romanesco. Going to go in with a little bit of olive oil.
Okay.
Now, I already blanched the Romanesco, okay? So I steamed it,
Okay.
and it's nice and tender. So we're just heating it up at this point. And if I can, I'm always using
I
a
was
little
going
bit
to
of
say
garlic,
a little bit of shallots, a little bit of garlic.
Okay. I just building flavors. It's all about kind of building flavors.
Love it.
And so just let that saute for a sec.
Okay.
And then the Romanesco goes in.
Uh-huh.
And we're just going to kind of let those come together.
So I think I'm going to add one more ladle.
Yes, you're super close.
Okay.
So one more ladle of chicken stock.
I'm going to burn myself here.
The Romanesco's, you know, just heating up here.
Okay,
With
that's
the
very
shallots
cool.
and the garlic. And I'm going to try, I'm going to pull out the dates.
Okay.
And so, oh man, they look amazing.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Aren't those beautiful? Look at that. So we
Love
got
it.
the bacon nice and crispy, and they look absolutely delicious.
And the cheese didn't ooze out. 'Cause
No.
It was frozen.
Yes.
Cool.
So we'll bring these over,
Okay.
and
So you know what I'm thinking when I see the dates?
what's that?
I think at the next Cooking with Chef,
Yes.
we need to have a theme of appetizers.
That would be fun.
Because you do these amazing appetizers for
Yes.
Throwback Thursday,
Yeah.
karaoke night.
Yeah.
It's an excuse to eat more dates.
It is. It's an excuse to, just have more fun with more of the.
But you have great appetizers.
Thank
Let's just do a whole cooking of appetizers.
I love that idea.
And then the residents take the recipes home.
Yep.
And now they have their cocktail party with appetizers.
They do.
Love
That's-
it. Love it. I'm excited.
All right.
Okay.
So this is looking great.
Oh, that smells
So
wonderful.
we're bringing this all together. Let's just
Okay.
shut everything off.
Okay.
Last thing that we need to do to the risotto
Yeah.
is we need to add some Parmesan cheese.
Of course we do.
Okay. And so,
Do I stir that in?
yeah, just
Okay.
stir that in.
Love it.
And then, do you want to taste what you created?
Yes.
So once that
Oh
gets
my
stirred in,
gosh.
and we're gonna taste for salt and pepper. Okay?
Okay.
It's primarily what we're doing.
Okay. And
That's
this is
good.
all gluten-free.
Gluten-free.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay.
And notice we didn't add, look at how creamy it is,
Mm-hmm.
and we haven't added any cream whatsoever. Okay, so that's fun
just
too.
set this
Oh,
like
that's
that. How
fun.
about
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
Okay.
that's fun.
Okay.
Here you go.
I'm ready.
So remember, it's hot,
Okay.
and we're tasting for texture and doneness of the rice as well, and just making sure a chef should always taste their food.
Yes.
Really important.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Now I think it's just slightly flat, which means
More salt?
more salt.
Okay.
Okay, we don't want to go heavy, but a
Right.
little more salt, and then I'm going to season the Romanesco too.
Okay.
A little bit more pepper,
That's good.
but the mushrooms are there.
Oh,
You can
so
taste the
good.
wine. You can taste all of it. So
Respect.
go ahead and here's this. Stir that
Okay.
in.
Perfect.
Okay. Then while we're doing that, I'm going to remove the dates to this plate here.
Okay. Oh, beautiful.
Isn't that pretty? Just like that. Take the fondue.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna go right over the top.
Beautiful.
Okay. And then we'll go back onto the stove. And then I'm gonna take a little parsley,
Right?
a little bit of green, right over the top. And those are our dates. Isn't that beautiful?
That's gorgeous.
Let's go ahead and let's plate up a short rib.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to bring over my 2 plates here like so.
Okay.
And we're going to start off with some of your risotto.
Okay.
So Julie's risotto.
It has a new name.
Yeah. And it looks beautiful. Then we're going to add some Romanesco.
Okay.
I'm just going to use my hands, which is fine. We're just going to add 3 of these guys on either one.
4.
Okay, so now we're just going to pull out a couple
Oh
of
my
short ribs.
goodness. Beautiful.
Go right in the center, just like so.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Then we're going to take a ladle.
Uh-huh.
We're going to grab a little bit of the sauce.
Okay.
Just kind of enough to go down and through the rice. You figure somebody could always ask for more sauce.
Right.
To add a little bit element of Riverside,
Uh-huh.
I have what are called orange supremes.
Okay.
And then
What are those?
this is rainbow char. So this is
wow.
rainbow char.
Right.
We could add this in here, but I thought maybe a little bit busy. But
Yeah.
I pickled these with just some vinegar and sugar
Okay.
last night. And so we're gonna add these into the orange supremes. And then we're gonna add a little bit of parsley,
Okay.
a little bit of rosemary.
Is that fresh?
And
Both of
yes,
those are fresh?
both of them are fresh.
Okay.
And then hand me the olive oil,
Okay.
please.
Got it.
So we're gonna go in with just a touch of olive oil.
Uh-huh.
And then just gonna give these a toss. Okay. And then we're putting a little bit of this right on
Oh,
top. Okay, make sure you get some oranges on there as well.
Wow.
Bit of this right on top.
Beautiful.
Okay. And that is our Riverside short rib
Love it.
with the mushroom risotto and the Romanesco.
Yes.
As well as our bacon wrapped dates
Uh-huh. Our
with
appetizer.
the blue cheese fondue.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. And so we're gonna eat this. Why don't we try one? I
Okay.
have some forks back here.
Okay.
So let's dig into this one.
Okay.
So 3.5 hours.
Oh,
Isn't that amazing?
they're so good.
You taste the oranges.
I
You-
love that garnish on top. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
And-
Tastes great.
So that kind of adds some acidity to the plate and just cuts the whole richness of it all.
Yeah, I'm going for another bite. You can
And
keep
then-
talking.
If you want, you could try a date.
Okay. Oh, so good.
You know,
The whole thing, huh?
that's how I do it. Right? Wow.
Oh my goodness.
It just explodes in your mouth. And the blue cheese,
It's perfect.
yeah,
it's
the
just-
sugary of the date and the salty of the bacon, it's
Yeah.
amazing. So look,
So good.
folks, we're gonna be right back with Julie Michaels and myself, and we're gonna do bananas Fosters for dessert. Awesome. So we'll see you in just a minute.
Okay.
You might have noticed new traffic lights popping up around Riverside, and the Public Works Department wants you to see how they work. First of all, you'll notice the new left turn signals consist of 4 lights: a red arrow, a solid yellow arrow, a flashing yellow arrow, and a green arrow. So how does traffic flow work with these new signals? First, we have the left green arrow, which indicates you have permission to turn left, but oncoming traffic must stop. When the signal changes to a flashing yellow arrow, turns are still permitted. However, you must yield to oncoming traffic and pedestrians before proceeding with your turn. A solid yellow arrow indicates that the light is about to turn red, and you must be prepared to stop, or if you're already in the intersection, complete your turn when safe. A solid red arrow means you must stop. No left-hand turns are allowed. These new signals are being introduced nationwide and represent a safer and more efficient way to handle left-turn traffic at busy intersections. The City of Riverside encourages you to learn more about these new traffic signals, and if you have questions, call 311, Riverside's one-stop shop for answers.
All right, welcome back. So, Julie, yes, dessert. You're so excited. So we're gonna do Bananas Fosters.
Love it.
Okay, we are gonna light alcohol on fire, so we need to be careful about that. But
Okay.
you're doing this whole thing, is what we're doing.
You did not tell me that before the show.
because
so
I wanted some shock and awe.
You got it.
Okay. So we're gonna turn this up a little bit.
Okay.
And you're gonna use this spoon. Add like, I don't know, 5 or 6 cubes of butter.
So just a little bit of butter in this dessert.
Just a tiny
little
bit on that one. That's good.
that
That's
good?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're just gonna let this melt. We have the heat turned up a little bit more.
Okay.
So then I have, to do Bananas Fosters, I have the bananas, I have brown sugar, I have orange juice, orange zest, and then I have Grand Marnier.
Yes.
Which is an orange liqueur, and then I have brandy. You
it.
can use cognac if you want.
Okay.
And then I've had some people use rum or something, you know, even a bourbon, I guess, but rum and brandy work really well in this.
Okay.
This flavor can be lent to lots and lots of different things. And we want that butter to heat up. We don't want it
Okay.
to brown, but we want it to heat up, and then you'll add the bananas in.
Okay.
But I've done Banana Foster's cakes. I've done Banana Foster's ice cream.
Oh my.
Like straight up ice cream. I've
Right.
done Banana Foster's bread pudding.
Oh my gosh.
Banana Foster's pancakes.
And they all have butter, right?
Oh, they all have butter. And this is the classic though.
I
All
love
right,
this.
so go ahead and add
Okay.
all of the bananas. That's 3 bananas.
Okay, all of them?
Yeah, all of
Okay,
them.
got it.
So here's the thing too, is we want to use kind of on, not green bananas, but on the greener side of bananas.
Okay.
Because if the banana's too ripe, it's just going to disintegrate on us.
Okay.
Okay, and so, so that's what we have going.
Okay.
All right, so
Okay,
go
what am I
ahead
doing
and
now?
add some brown sugar. Add
Okay.
about half of that.
Half of that? Okay. Okay.
Little hard. There you go. All right, start stirring that in.
Okay.
Now, once we add the brown sugar, we do have to be careful.
Okay.
Because the sugar can burn.
Yeah.
But you'll see, you want to incorporate it all to where you don't really see sugar crystals anymore.
Okay.
It starts acting almost like a syrup or
Like a sauce?
sauce, kind of.
Okay.
Almost there.
Okay.
We can let that brown a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can give the pan a shake.
Yeah,
and
you
it
can
will-
do that part.
Okay. It'll sort of ease itself in, and
Okay.
we'll let that go for a minute.
Fun.
So now
Uh-huh.
we're going to add some Grand Marnier
Okay.
and some brandy.
Okay.
And this is how you do it, okay?
Okay.
I'll just sort of show you. So we're good and high.
Right?
I want to be in control of the fire.
Okay.
It's really, really important. Or you want to be in control of the fire. So what you're going to do is this isn't hot, so pick
Okay.
up the pan and kind of just back away from the stove for a second.
Okay, I could do that.
Right there. All right, so we're going to add
Come on.
some of that, some of the
Uh-huh.
Grand Marnier,
Okay.
some of the brandy.
Got it.
Now lightly go back onto the stove.
Lightly. Okay. Woo!
And it will flame up for you. So go onto the stove, it's fine.
Oh, that was fun.
All right. So now we're on fire, and
Yeah,
you saw you were in control.
Right.
You were in control the whole time. Now, what's a good point to show is that if it got out of control and we didn't want it to be on fire anymore,
Right.
thing that we don't want to do is go to the sink with it.
Right.
Because that's everybody's first reaction. You can
Right.
see the flame is still there. What we want to do is smother it.
Okay.
Okay, so like another pan or lid,
okay.
would be fine. But you can see the fire's almost gone.
Because it's cooking off the alcohol, is that what it's doing?
Exactly.
Okay.
So now add the orange juice.
Orange juice, perfect.
Add about half of the orange zest.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay. Do
Stir
this
that
thing.
in.
Okay.
We want to get some fat in here, and so we add just a tiny hint of butter. Okay. Let's just add all of it. Okay.
Love it.
Now we stir that in. And now, obviously, now this could go over pancakes, the
Right.
bread puddings, all the different stuff that I said.
Yes.
We're going to serve it classically over vanilla ice cream.
Love it.
Now, feel free, too, if you have some people that are having a good time and partying and stuff, you could add a shot of Grand Marnier to each one of these.
Yes,
You can always do that.
Oh, yeah.
It's delicious, is it?
So good.
The banana, the orange zest, the liqueurs,
Yeah.
the ice cream. Fantastic.
And I made it.
And you made it. I really want you to make this for your husband.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So thank you, everybody, for being with us with Flavor of Riverside.
wonderful.
Come and check us out at Alta Vita Village. And with Julie Michaels and myself, Chef Robert, say thank you and keep on cooking.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.